Nuclear Civil Liabilities Bill after it agrees to increase the compensation cap and do away with zero liability. The left puts in a dissenting note that the bill will be a law before US President Obama's visit. After a day of high drama, radical leader Abdul Nasser Madni is arrested and now lands in Bangalore. But at a press conference before that, the radical leader claims the bomb blast case against him is a conspiracy. In Uttar Pradesh, the Mayawati government offers protesting Aligarh farmers a hike in compensation, but they're still not happy. Sharp divisions and more clashes over the expressway land acquisition. There's even more evidence of the uncommon abuse of wealth for the games. The organising committee now questions Kalmadi's former key aide, Sanjay Mahindru's expenses on a London trip. He had billed them for a whopping £160,000. It's a CNN-IBN exclusive. And there's a new spin to the no-ball controversy. Suraj Randeep apologises to Virendra Sehwag for denying him a century. But is Captain Sangakkara to blame as well? Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to India tells CNN-IBN it's time to put that entire controversy to rest.
This is Face the Nation, broadcasting live from the CNN-IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Tom, Dick and Harry in this country who had access to the government, who had people in the government, who were influential, have taken these coal block permits and they are carrying it in their pockets.
If Srimati Indira Gandhi could nationalize coal mines in 1972, what is the difficulty you are stating, Mr. Handik?
जो नियमगिरी रिजर्व फॉरेस्ट है, उसके नीचे वेदांत कंपनी रिफाइनरी का फाउंडेशन स्टोन ले करने का आवश्यकता क्या था कि राज्य की मुख्यमंत्री उनका क्या इंटरेस्ट था जो फाउंडेशन स्टोन लेकर दिए.
Hi there. Mining and its illegalities is one of India's dirtiest secrets and one of its biggest scams. There was furor in Parliament today about the kind of loot and rampant exploitation that MPs said is going on in India's mining sector. A government panel has said that mining giant Vedanta must now shut down its operations in Orissa as those operations are illegal. The panel also said that Orissa government officials actively colluded with Vedanta to flout laws.
Vedanta's plan to mine the bauxite-rich Niyamgiri mountains in Kalahandi has suffered a major jolt. A 4-member panel of the Ministry of Environment and Forests and the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has recommended that the company should not be allowed to mine as it violates sections of the Forest Rights Act.
This is a serious issue. Serious issues have been brought out and we have to take a clear stand. We can't waffle any longer.
This land cannot be taken away from the Gram Sabha unless the Gram Sabha agrees. And that they have not consulted. They admitted, the officers admitted that they have not consulted the Gram Sabha.
The report clearly states that the proposed mining lease area is a rich and critical elephant corridor and will lead to the chopping of over 1 lakh trees. Free and fully informed prior consent of local people has neither been sought nor obtained. The MOEF clearance was acquired by submitting false information, not valid and should be revoked. There have been deliberate attempts on the part of Vedanta Alumina Limited to conceal information and falsify it in order to get the project approved. It's a report which has clearly left Naveen Patnaik's government embarrassed.
Whatever action that needs to be taken will certainly be taken.
So could this report lead to the end of the road for the mining project?
We have many committees coming up, many reports. It's now firmly for the government to take a view based on all of these and actually say no to the project firmly.
It's a project for which pressure to expedite the clearance process came from as high as the Prime Minister's office as well as the State Chief Minister. Experts say, given this pressure, the green battle is far from over. In New Delhi, with Juhi Chaudhary, Bahar Dutt.
Irregularities in the mining sector have been held to be directly responsible for tribal alienation and of course the rise of Naxalite violence. Today the Rajya Sabha has passed the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Bill to reform the mining sector. Let's bring you what experts say is the central issue that is causing rampant corruption in mining. Prices of minerals in India are governed by an administered mechanism and the royalty paid to the government is a pittance. Instead, profit sharing arrangements are needed. So given the skyrocketing world prices for minerals, there are windfall profits to be made in mining by, as the MP said, any Tom, Dick and Harry. Instead of an administered mechanism, an ad valorem royalty regime is needed where the percentage of royalties are fixed according to the price of minerals. If royalties are regularized, made transparent, illegal mining could be substantially curbed and those windfall gains could be substantially reduced and made into a profit sharing agreement, production sharing agreement between government and contractors. Joining us tonight, NC Saxena. He's member of the National Advisory Council and head of the panel investigating violations of the Forest Rights Act and environmental norms by the Vedanta Group in Kalahandi district. He is the one who has in fact come up with this Ministry of Environment report damning the Vedanta Group. We have Vandana Shiva, a well-known environment scientist, joining us. Needs no introduction actually, nor does BJ Panda need any introduction, Member of Parliament of the Biju Janata Dal. Let's get to the initial results of our SMS poll. The Vedanta Rao is mining the biggest scam in today's India. Is it our dirtiest secret? Is it the reason for the Naxalite violence? 82% there are saying yes. Jay Panda, BJD MP, member of the ruling party of Orissa. Vedanta violated Environmental Protection Act, Forest Conservation Act, Forest Rights Act, Panchayat Act, and all this was done in active collusion with the state government. Mr. Saxena's report says a private company is benefiting at the cost of the tribal people and environment, and the state government is helping the company to do this. How do you respond?
First of all, I'm not here to defend any company, but I would like to address the issue. I think there are some people in this country who would like to take the position that all mining is bad and that no mining should be permitted. And I think that's wrong, because many countries have developed by using their mineral resources. And in India too, we have laws to develop our mineral resources. Now, if you want all mining to stop, then please mobilize public opinion and repeal the parliamentary acts which provide for legal mining. So we must distinguish between legal and illegal mining. Now, my problem with this report is, and I've gone through the report, is that it has 103 references to the Forest Rights Act. And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is not a single reference, not one, to the act which actually regulates mining. The MMDR Act, the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, which today was amended in Parliament, which you just referred to. So, that bothers me. It bothers me because it seems to show a perspective of that school of thought that all mining is bad and it must be stopped. Now, the report talks about the ills of mining, the ecological costs, the human cost, doesn't mention a single benefit. Mining does bring enormous revenues to the state, which provides the revenue. These revenues are used for many social projects. Many of them have had very good success in the last decade. The point I wish to make, you touched upon something very important. Because of windfall profits, there are many sort of get-rich-quick schemes. There is illegality, and we must crack down on the illegality. And it is the central government that has been resisting for decades the requirement of states like Odisha, which have wanted ad valorem royalty rates so that these are transparent and these are open. Why? Well, you can guess the reasons why. That's a very good point. NC Saxena, you are the author of this report. Respond to what Jay Panda is saying, that why is the central government resisting regularization of mining and instead only concentrating on a kind of anti-development rhetoric when it comes to attacking all mining?
Well, in fact, I'm all for legal mining and sustainable mining, but it should not be at the cost of environment, and it should not be at the cost of the tribal people. Why should the poorest people lose out when some people are making quick gains? The other point is that our report followed the terms of reference which were given to us, and our terms of reference did not include any reference to mining laws. Our reference was, we were asked to find out whether the Forest Rights Act is being implemented, whether Forest Conservation Act or Environmental Protection Act are being followed or not. So this was the terms of reference given to us, and we have strictly followed our terms of reference.
Vandana Shiva, notwithstanding what Jay Panda is saying that mining needs to be regularized, mining companies need to respect the environment of the tribal people.
Absolutely, and the tragedy about what was a Sterlite entry and suddenly metamorphosed into a Vedanta factory is that at every step of the way it has violated laws, and that's what the Saxena Committee report is about. That's what they were asked to do, not to look at mining laws, and I think that's where you're totally off the hook. It was to assess the impact that the company is having and the violations it's engaging in terms of the established laws of the land. They're not just mining laws, they're forest rights laws, they're forest conservation laws, there's PESA, the empowerment of the tribals. And I have been to Nayangiri to celebrate World Environment Day this year. It's the violation of the laws that should be obeyed that is the issue. Now, should Vedanta have a right to violate the laws? Should it have the right to influence and corrupt government, to undo decisions again and again, and even influence the court? Because the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court's centrally empowered committee has said no. The Supreme Court in the initial stage had turned this down. And I think a very important issue about Vedanta and mining is they set up their alumina plant right at the bottom of the hill and then said it has nothing to do with the bauxite here. We're going to bring it all the way from Chhattisgarh. And then they have the aluminium processing plant somewhere else where they're rerouting two rivers, the Indravati, and they're taking all the water from Hirakud Dam. So when we start looking at it, we're not just talking about the tribals who live up on that mountain, Niyamgiri.
Isn't it the duty of the state government?
We're talking about a district in Orissa, Kalahandi, famous for hunger, where the farmers are going to lose all their water. I have seen these red mud ponds. You know, every ton of alumina generates equivalent ton of this toxic red mud.
Right.
They've already had to set up 8. You saw the images. They're digging into the forest side of the mountain. And they want to increase the smelting capacity to 6-fold.
Isn't it the responsibility of the state government to ensure that the environment is not degraded? Isn't it the responsibility of the state government to ensure that the tribal people are protected? Surely any kind of revenue that comes from degrading environment is not simply not going to be sustainable.
I would like to point out that any terms of reference which only looks at one of the set of laws which are in place is inadequate. Please allow me to complete.
Yeah, but the point is the violations are about environmental laws and tribal laws. That's what this committee was asked to look at.
Let Jay have a say.
See, this is the problem with people who think that all mining should be stopped. They
No,
won't
I'm
allow
not saying.
other
I'm
voices.
saying this particular mine should not be allowed. It hasn't even started.
Well,
I think the public should know the Nayangiri bauxite mine has not started.
Go ahead.
Well, I think you must insist on a level playing field. I think people have a right to hear all voices. And the point here is that these mines are not yet operational. Now, every aspect of any mining project has to be looked at. And that's why the MMDR Act must be looked at, because that is the fundamental rule. Please allow me to complete, which governs mining. Now, the point is this. The MMDR Act does allow mineral reserves in forest areas to be developed. It
Only
does,
with the permission of the tribals.
See, this is the problem with
But
this.
if you are distorting facts, I have to correct it.
You will get time to correct it, madam. You must allow me to have my say.
It's not an absolute right of Anil Agarwal.
Well,
it rests on the prior informed consent of the tribal on the basis of the Forest Rights
Okay,
Act.
no, but
that's what the committee is
But
about.
Jay, that's a point. I mean,
you must hear me out.
Right.
You must hear me
But
out.
not by distorting it.
I'm not
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Please respond to my answers, not by
Go ahead, Jay.
interrupting me.
Not
Go ahead,
answers.
Jay.
You're behaving as if there's no law like a forest rights law, as if there's no law like a PESA law. There's only one law of Mr. Anil Agarwal sitting in London.
I'm not here to
that
defend.
abuse of law is what we are challenging.
Okay,
My
go
problem
ahead.
is, I'm not here to defend anyone.
You are defending Anil Agarwal.
I'm not. I'm talking about Orissa's developmental needs.
No, but we are
And-
talking about the Vedanta mine. Stick to the subject.
No, there are other issues
No, stick
connected.
to this committee is about the Vedanta
Now you really must
operations.
decide
No,
who is
no,
running
no,
the
Vandana,
discussion, whether she has the only say or whether anybody else will have any.
let Jay have a say. Go on, Jay. Go on, Jay.
Now, please allow me to say this, that there is a feeling in Orissa, and this is not just my point of view. You've just had some SMS polls up there. I would encourage you to do that SMS poll in Orissa. There is a feeling out there that this UPA government at the center is out to fix the Orissa government. Because it's not just this project. There are a series of reports that have been issued recently to try to prevent a series of projects which are good for the state. I'm not here to defend any company. But my point is, you cannot just look at the Forest Rights Act by itself. You must look at all the acts which Parliament has passed, and if you dislike any of them, please mobilize public support and have those acts repealed. Now, the MMDR Act provides for minerals which are in forest areas to be developed, with alternate land to be given for afforestation and many other steps to be taken. Now, you know, you've made allegations about the Supreme Court and other things. I'm not going to respond to that. My point here is, of course, the Forest Act needs to be implemented properly, and the state government has issued denials about some of the aspects that are in this report. Let me highlight one aspect. One aspect here says that the rejection of any claims of primitive tribal groups on any grounds whatsoever is not permitted to the state government. That means you are denying the constitutional mandate that minerals are the property of the state. They don't belong to any one group. The state government, in fact, has a constitutional role, and it has to take its decision. It's not a rubber stamp. So you must allow the state government to function.
Mr. Jayapanda is talking about a UPA interest. He's then talking about mobilizing people. Well, at the POSCO site, it is every villager saying we don't want the POSCO plant. At the Kalinganagar site, where 12 tribals were killed, people were saying no. And I think totally denying the movements that exist is the kind of denial where in the long run, when you crush democratic, peaceful movements, you get the rising of violent response. And that is something he's totally avoiding. The second issue, the people are saying, we don't want, in POSCO, because the land is so fertile, they say we want our pan and dhan.
Right.
They have a right to exercise their democratic freedom, and the Naveen Patnaik government does not have the right to send 40 battalions of police or 2 battalions up to Nanduri, or to arrest 2 of the tribals who were coming to our conference on the 12th. 2 of our tribals, Lado and Sana, were abducted from the delegation that was coming to our conference. Is that the functioning of a democratic government?
Let me get a response from Jay and then we go to break.
Democracy does not mean a police state. And you have unleashed a police state in Orissa.
Very quickly.
Democracy does not consist in shouting down your opponents. Democracy consists...
Debates. I am not shooting at you. I am just having a loud voice.
We're going to have to take a break, but I'm going to get a quick response in from you.
After Kalinganagar, Orissa government took the inputs of many international agencies and incorporated some radical changes in the R&R policies. Arguably today, Orissa's policies are the best. And madam, it is not a fact that the majority of villagers oppose POSCO. It is a very small minority. You will please notice in recent months, in recent days actually, a large number of the villagers have been accepting the rehabilitation packages, which involves training for them, which involves jobs for one person in every family, which involves alternate homes to be given to them.
Right.
So we must
those promises
the
have always been
hold your horses. We're going to have to run into break, but as we go into break, listen to rights activist Bianca Jagger on how the Vedanta plant has displaced the tribals of the Niyamgiri hills of Orissa.
It is my hope that the Indian government and those governments and those states would understand what it will mean, that if you were to expel or to displace the people who live in the Niyamgiri mountain, who still live depending entirely on what the mountain produced to them. They regard the mountain as sacred. When you ask them, what would they do? They say to you, just like a fish could not live in a pond without water, they could not live without Niyamgiri.
I am diabetes. I am heart disease. I am blood pressure. I am joint pain. We shall attack you. Don't be scared. Adopt a healthy daily routine. Get up early and exercise in fresh air. Eat fruits and green vegetables. Avoid mental stress. Sleep well for 7 to 8 hours and tell diseases get lost.
Health is wealth. Live healthy, live long.
Seconds. He did not enter the Limco Book of Records. He entered a psychiatric center. reliable, our technology knew. Peace of mind could be found anywhere. True happiness can also be found at the nearest Hyundai showroom.
Celebrate Hyundai's 30 lakh car sales with the triple assurance program. Get motor warranty and total maintenance assurance on I-10 and Central. Hurry!
रोहन, मेरी गिफ्ट?
तुम्हारी सुरक्षा करने का वादा।
मेरी सुरक्षा? स्कूल में जब लड़के तुम्हारा मजाक उड़ाते थे तो उन्हें कौन पीता था?
हाँ, और टीवी तोड़ने का इल्जाम भी तुमने ही लिया था।
मम्मी का सिग्नेचर भी तो मैं करती थी ताकि तुम क्रिकेट खेल सको।
थैंक यू मेरी सुरक्षा करने के लिए।
इस रक्षा बंधन खुशी का हर एक पल इंश्योर कर लो जिंदगी भर। फ्यूचर जनरल इंश्योरेंस, एक शगुन जिंदगी के नाम।
எனக்கு ஜாப் கிடைச்சிருக்கு ஜெய்ப்பூர்ல.
अब जहां भी जाओ अपने लोकल टीवी चैनल्स का मजा पाओ। पेशियन लैंग्वेज चैनल्स लाइफ टाइम के लिए फ्री, सिर्फ एयरटेल डिजिटल टीवी पर।
और भी है रास्ते जीवन साथी पाने के। जीवनसाथी.com पे लॉग ऑन करिए और पाइए अपना मनपसंद जीवन साथी। जीवनसाथी.com, we match better.
This is Network 18 and you're watching CNN IBN.
We're asking tonight, the Vedanta Rao is mining, illegal mining, the biggest scam in today's India. Is it the reason for the tribal alienation and the rise of Naxalite violence? Carry on with your voting. We'll carry on with our discussion. Mr. Saxena, you were wanting to make a point. You were listening very patiently and you wanted to come in.
Yes, in fact. You know, the forest land which is being used, which is sought to be used for mining, has a very small deposit of the mineral. It will last only for 4 years. As against that, you have to balance it with a loss of a large number of people. About 2,000 people would be totally culturally extinct. They would lose their economy. They would perhaps die, or they wouldn't have their existence. As it is, the PTG's number is declining very fast. The number two, you know, Odisha government in October 2009 itself issued orders that no forest land can be diverted for non-forestry use unless the whole proposal has been explained to the Gram Sabha and the written consent has been obtained. So these are orders of Government of India as well as of the state government. The state government cannot flout its own orders. In fact, they have, under the pressure from the state government, collectors have given false certificates. They have said that they have explained the proposal to the Gram Sabhas. Not even in one Gram Sabha the proposal was taken. They have also said that the people have no claims. In fact, there are a large number of claims. They have said that the whole process is complete. Even on the 31st July, Khambesi village has given a proposal for this thing. As against that, you have to look at a large number of violations which the company has been committing. It is an environmental laws. They have occupied 28 hectares of forest lands on which...
But Mr. Saxena, are you saying the state government is solely to blame for this? Is the culpability only of the state government, or has the centre also turned a blind eye?
Well, the centre certainly has turned a blind eye as regards the 26 hectares of forest lands. This case was pointed out to them some time back, and the central government did nothing. Central government is also to be blamed for not having a travel policy, for not having displacement policy, for not implementing PESA. This is all failures of the central government. Our tribal development ministry is a very, very weak ministry. It doesn't implement its own laws. In fact, the forest rights act is implemented by the tribe.
But you're saying that the collusion of the state government, that the Orissa government has a lot to answer for in this.
Has colluded In fact, that is why we did not recommend prosecution, because if we recommend prosecution, it is the SDO or the collector who will be prosecuted. But the signal for breaking these laws, for flouting these laws, is coming from somewhere else, from the state government.
Okay, that's a very damning indictment. They haven't recommended prosecution because only the small fry will get prosecuted, and the very top which sanctioned this will be untouched.
Something doesn't sound right. They find something wrong, yet they don't want to recommend prosecution. You see, wherever there has been illegal mining, Naveen Patnaik's government has taken very stringent action. Very senior people have been arrested. His whole track record, it's not just about mining. He's sacked senior cabinet ministers. He's had very senior IS officers arrested. So why would he not take the same kind of action if there's
That's a good point. Naveen Patnaik is known to be tough on corruption. This is his test. Clean image.
This is his test. All this was tucked away in a faraway remote area. It's becoming public with new these reports becoming public with debates, become public with the kind of conferences we've organized. I want to just say two things. Jay is celebrating mining. Why do we have so much aluminium and steel production? I'm making a valid point too. What I'm saying is over the last 20 years, as the ecological energy pollution costs of aluminium started to pile up, the Western countries shut the aluminium production down and relocated it to countries like India. I have called it the outsourcing of pollution. Let me run through figures. 1 ton of aluminium consumes 13,500 kilowatts of energy. 1 ton of aluminium requires 1,300 tons of water. Okay. It's because of this resource demands.
But then all countries progress by using their mineral resources. So we
but they have now decided that they are not going to damage their environment and their people's lives with pollution. They are sending that pollution to us. Those red mud ponds and the killing of the river has already caused massive problems. And I want to say about the jobs, here's a tribal saying. This is around the factory. We gave our land thinking they'd be true to giving us a job. We cooperated with them. But now we are worse off than we were. We have no land, no jobs, we have nothing. That's the future they want to leave for the tribals.
Wait, let me get a word in from NC Saxena.
In fact, I entirely agree with Vandana, because you cannot have a model of development in which the rich gain and the poor lose out. Why is it that the poor or the tribals are not convinced about 26% share in profits? Because our record in rehabilitating them, in ensuring that the tribals gain is very, very dismal.
Right.
We have never succeeded in ensuring that the tribals gain from such mining. There is a lot of resentment in that area.
We're up against time. It's 2 against 1. I'm going to give the underdog the last word.
Mr. Saxena has said 2 contradictory things. I'm going to agree with what he said a little bit earlier. He said that he agrees with the legal framework for mining. Now, despite what Ms. Shiva has pointed out,
Dr. Shiva
has pointed out, I would like to say that India is not in a position to turn down any options of development. We are still a developing country.
It has to be.
Please. India cannot turn down any options of development. It must be done in a legal manner. There are laws that
That's what this report is pointing to. The laws it was
we're completely out of time.
This is the entire problem.
20 seconds.
The forest rights must be implemented, but so also must be the minerals and the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulatory Act.
Right. That's we are completely out of time on that one, though. All development, as NC Saxena is saying, has to be. We cannot say no to development, but it has to be sustainable and regularized. Jay Panda saying let's not turn our back on any development options. Vandana Shiva saying at the end of the
pollution and destruction of democracy. Otherwise, we are a failed country. We're a failed state.
Okay, and what are you telling us there? Is mining the biggest scam in India? 85% yes. Thanks very much indeed. NC Saxena, Vijay Panda, Vandana Shiva. Pleasure to have you. Thank you very
much. Brought to you by SR. Let's begin. Nokia. Share your special Nokia moments. New Nissan Micra. Drive simpler, live better. MVL G81 Baji Ghanti Push Mail Key, and Jaguar RTs, art that performs. I love just one thing. Pay only for what you love. Paper signed at ₹10 per month.
खुशबू की फुहार में, स्वाद की बहार में,
तरक्की की ताने में, खिलती मुस्कानों में,
हरे भरे पौधों में, बड़े बड़े सौदों में,
मधुर भिनभिनाहट में, खुशियों की आहट में,
NHM बागवानी मिशन, हमारी चाहत, आपकी मुस्कुराहट।
Hettich Fittings. Make furniture work beautifully. Hettich Fittings. German quality you can trust.
I'm bold.
Whatever your style, there's a Sarah for you. Sarah reflects your style.
This is Network 18 and you're watching CNN IPL. Amway presents Sports Tonight. To know more, SMS Amway to 58888 in association with Everyouth Men's Extra Skincare, मर्दों के लिए. HSBC, the world's local bank. SR, let's begin. And Tata Docomo paper site.
The clock thickens in the no-ball controversy. Sri Lankan board promises action against Suraj Randeep, but was he the only one to blame? Can skipper Sangakkara be in the clear?
भी नो बॉल नहीं डाला, वनडे क्रिकेट में एक भी नो बॉल नहीं डाला, 99 पे ही एक नो बॉल क्यों डाला? और नो बॉल भी छोटा नहीं, थोड़ा मार्जिन भी नहीं, 1 फुट आगे से।
This was the comment that set the cat among the pigeons. Virendra Sehwag got to his 100 only to realize that the sixer did not count. Good evening. Our focus on the show today is on the ball that wasn't. We ask all the big questions after what happened in Dambulla last night. Former cricketers Maninder Singh as well as Shishir Hatangdi are joining us here. Also CNN IBN sports editor Gaurav Kara. But before I get to my guests,